This is a new initiative from Mobility Ways to help particularly local authorities promote consistently carpooling. Next slide. So just, it's very interesting, aligns nicely with what we've heard from Rosie around from Green Alliance. When it comes to domestic transport, it's the biggest part of the overall footprint, and it is stubborn in the sense that we're struggling to make headway in terms of reductions relative to other sectors. Obviously within electricity supply in particular, there's been a lot of good work there in terms of decarbonising the grid, introducing renewables, but where domestic transport is concerned, we have a problem. Next slide. And that problem obviously lessened a little through COVID, but we are at a point now where certainly road emissions are returning to pre-COVID levels. And I think we probably all experienced that even with working from home, the roads seem busier than ever. And that's possibly because people working from home are also nipping out to do trips to the shops and stuff. So the roads just feel very, very busy. But in terms of overall emissions from road travel, it is returning and will exceed beyond pre-COVID levels. And a point that was referenced also by Rosie is the fact that, yes, electric vehicles are coming into the car park, into the overall total park, but we are many, many years away from fully electric across the piece. And if you look at the graph to the right, with the source being SMMT, you can see even within 2035, we're at a place where we're only just over half of the car park being either full battery or hybrid. So there's an enormous way to go. Clearly, there is some challenges around road duty and the like in terms of how things are going to move from a tax position. But the nub of it is that we've still got, even in 2035, based on this forecast, over 15 million cars. And this is just for the cars. We've got to think about the vans as well, trucks, etc. A great deal of vehicles that are still using petrol predominantly. So there's something really here for us to be thinking about. You know, there is a lot more to be done. And I was reading only this morning that BEV sales are at their lowest level in Europe since about 2017. So there's a challenge here, because obviously electric vehicles, there is a cost of entry barrier right now. And when will that change? Next slide. So that's the context. Thinking about it from an impact perspective, you know, reducing carbon, as we as a business are entirely focused on, it isn't the only challenge. Electrification is going to support, it's important, but obviously it isn't in itself a silver bullet when it comes to things such as air quality and also then congestion. If we just swap out all electric vehicles, our ICE vehicles to electric vehicles, we're doing nothing when it comes to congestion. And congestion has a real impact, an economic impact from productivity perspective. We're already in a place where road network speeds have worsened, and all forecasts point to increasing challenges around road network speeds, reducing by 30% by 2030, 70+% by 2050. And this is, you know, a gradual slowing and decline of our arteries, our road arteries, that mean that actually as a nation will become less and less productive. And we've got to also think about the fact that that's congestion when cars are moving. We've also got the additional problem that actually cars are used very little of the time, just 4%. And the space that they occupy when they're not being driven is just as damaging as it is when they are driving. You know, vehicles congest our environment all of the time. So we need to work collectively. The collaboration part, which Mike referenced earlier, so critical to tackling the impact and the position we're in right now. Next slide. So from impact to behaviours, commuting, as we well know, is a critical use case, accounting for 19–20% of all trips, and as Rosie was outlining, you know, there's more that needs to be done to get people to use their own car less. Single occupancy vehicle, SOV, trips, private car is the dominant mode when it comes to commuting. So it's a large part of trips. It's also dominated by people driving around on their own. Rosie referenced the fact that we're trying to get back to sort of pre-pandemic levels of occupancy. right now, particularly on the commute, we're at a level of about 1.1, virtually 1. We need to get to a place where occupancy levels, certainly at commute, which is obviously a peak time, start and end of the day, we need to get it well above 1.55. I think I saw on Rosie's slides. We need to get it up above 2 ideally, if we're really going to make a dent into congestion. And there is an opportunity. If we think about it, there are millions of empty seat miles every day when it comes to the commute, and single occupancy vehicle travel in terms of commuting accounts for the vast majority of commuting emissions. So there is a lot of opportunity. That potential needs to be unlocked. Next slide. Actually, sorry, no, just go back a slide a second. So just to preface all of this, what are we looking to do? So as an organisation, Mobility Ways runs LiftShare. LiftShare is the largest lift sharing carpooling platform in the UK. We offer it in various different forms. What we're very conscious of right now is that we are, in spite of lots of positive feel in terms of a change of government, in terms of talk and language around improvements to be made in buses, improvement to be made in rail, the importance of integrated national transport strategy. There is a fundamental part here where everyone's a little cash strapped, individuals, organisations, regions, etc. And so on that basis, what we're looking at is a way that we can support local authorities to consistently message carpooling as an opportunity to tackle carbon, air quality, congestion, but to do it in a light touch way that perhaps doesn't come with as many costs as perhaps it has done in previous days. So next slide. So on that basis, just a bit of feature comparison around how we run LiftShare and how we're looking to support, as I say, local authorities, councils and the like. So right now we have LiftShare for Work, which is predominantly is closed schemes where there's a license fee paid for it. The good thing about a LiftShare for Work scheme, it can be closed for a certain organisation, and there's a lot of data that is provided as part of that. So you get the ability to understand the communities that are signing up, to nurture them through the car sharing journey, the carpooling journey, and to get data back in terms of number of shared trips, the CO2 that's being saved, the mileage that's being saved, and the money's being saved. Obviously, there's a license fee associated with that. So thinking about it in the local authority context, it's something that requires good consideration in terms of taking that forward. So that's on the LiftShare, the closed scheme. If we go to the next slide, I'll introduce the free scheme. So liftshare.com we operate it as an entirely social enterprise. So there is the ability for individuals, free of charge, to sign up to LiftShare and look for matches. The thing with the free is that obviously it's just liftshare.com. So if you are a place, and obviously councils and authorities, place is important to them. An entity which people can be driven to, which gives an indication of place, is important. So pointing people to liftshare.com is absolutely an opportunity, and we'd welcome further promotion of liftshare.com. But what we're thinking about and what we've delivered for local authorities is a hybrid model, a co-branded model. So if we move to the next slide, we're bringing now into the middle the co-branded solution. So this is, if you like, a bit of a halfway house between the fully licensed closed schema for work and the fully free, available to everybody public network, where we're going to provide landing pages for councils to be able to promote at a local level LiftShare. We're providing assets to support that as well. So actually a suite of standardized assets with some degree of ability to kind of configure some of the images and the copy, etc. And an important part in this whole process is, with a landing page, you're going to get visitor information. So we'll be able to see the efforts of promoting, and we're very keen that, if it comes between paying for a license or paying or putting resources to marketing, carpooling. We'd much prefer it to be on the latter, but a landing page is therefore allowing that ability to provide insights in terms of people who are showing intent, who's landing on the page and who's then going forward into liftshare.com through that landing page to then start to explore their options for carpooling. So to explain this a little bit more detail, we have a little video to run now, which just talks it through.
Is on a mission to transform the way we travel in the UK and reduce commuting emissions. As a social enterprise, we offer lift share for free to members of the public to help them save money, take miles off the road, and get from A to B. Did you know that improving vehicle occupancy by just 10% would lead to the public saving £2 billion a year in fuel costs alone? We understand that local authorities' budgets are restricted, but we want to work with you to encourage more carpooling across the country. By helping local authorities to promote the benefits of carpooling, we can tackle emissions reduction head-on and build stronger communities, both with local residents and anchor institutions that have the power to increase the uptake of carpooling even further. That's why we're giving away £1.2 million of value to increase vehicle occupancy, based on the cost of paid lift share communities. To help us on our mission, we've launched a regional lift share campaign. But what does that mean for you and your community? We want to collaborate with local authorities to actively encourage people to carpool together. To do this, we've created free, customizable, co-branded web pages available for your region, through which residents can sign up to carpool for free. We'll guide you through how we set up and co-brand these pages for you, what stats you can receive, and how to help them rank in Google searches. Plus, we'll even help you promote them. We've created a free pack of promotional materials for you to customize and use in your campaigns. This toolkit includes flyers, posters, and social media graphics to spread the word about the lift sharing initiative. We can give you ideas on how to launch and promote the page and spread the word further by sharing your campaigns on our own socials. By working together, we can drive down congestion and travel towards a more sustainable future. Why wait? Help people in your area become part of the carpooling revolution.
So many of you will be aware of LiftShare. It's a journey matching platform that we liken to a dating app essentially. So people will add their journey, the system matches them with other people who are on the same route, and then they can get in touch to go on to share. The regional pages that we have created are linked from liftshare.com, where you go to LiftShare in your region. So as you can see, we've created these for different areas, and then it goes down to the county levels. If I just bring up this Suffolk page. So essentially, this is out of the box how the pages are at the moment. They're already indexing in Google, already performing well. We've made the pages as accessible as we can. So things like adding alt descriptions, making the pages readable, and improving the contrast on them. So that's essentially how the page comes. So essentially on these pages, what can be edited to make it customizable for you guys is the logo, the background image, and any of this text that's at the top here, so that you can have information about any promotions that you're running or any kind of regional information that you would like to add on there. So the other thing that we can provide to you as well is some promotional materials. We have created a poster, a flyer, and some social posts. So this is the poster, and this is how we've co-branded it with Luton and Bedfordshire. So it's got their logos on, a complementary colour in the background, their URL, and then we add the URL into a QR code as well. We've got some different designs, so you see the people on the flyer here are different. This is the same front, but we have extra information on the back of the flyer on lift sharing. And then we also have some different social post designs, again with different people on there, so you can choose which people you have on the design. And we're happy to, if you post on socials, we're happy to reshare your post as well to get the word out there a bit more.